Hello again. 2 videos in as many days. Amazing. But I had a couple questions come to me on Twitter, and I thought, you know what, I'll just answer them here and get back in the habit of answering questions, doing videos, that kind of thing. So, first of all, a lot of people were just like, who are you? So I was like, oh, I haven't even done like an introductory video. Let me fix that problem. So, I'm Im Pepper Longlinay. That's how you say the last name, Longlinay. Im stands for Manda, like Amanda, but without that first A. So I get a lot of Mandalorian jokes now. I'm from, well, my father's family is from southern Louisiana, the New Orleans area. My mother's family is from Washington State and Alaska. I grew up in Texas, outside of Austin, and I went to UT, where I studied radio, television, film. I got a degree that focused on screenwriting and what they call cultural media studies, which basically, at that time, I don't know what it's like there now. At that time, it just meant I didn't do practical stuff like learning how to run an editing machine or work a camera. I wish I had done those things, honestly. But those classes were really small and really difficult to get into. I would have had to extend my degree time, and I kind of just wanted to get through in the 4 years. So I did cultural studies instead, focused on screenwriting and on fan psychology because I found that very interesting. I minored in classical history because I've always liked classical history. I started my writing career as a fan fiction author. At that time, I am old enough that the internet was not a thing yet. So fan fiction had to be sent into fanzines and accepted for publication. And that's what my first publishing credits were, fanzines. I would be asked to go to cons, and I'd turn up this, 18-year-old girl, and they'd be like, you're not even really old enough for some of this, the stuff in here, as this fan, this guest fan author. And it was kind of amazing and funny and hilarious and, stars in my eyes kind of thing, and very exciting. And a really good time in my life. And I do miss fanzines. Now fan fiction's all online. I worked on some film sets while in Austin. Feel very fortunate to have had that experience. Really enjoyed it, but decided that I did not want to continue in film because, at least not the industry, for a lot of reasons. But one of the chief reasons at that time was that the income was not predictable. You weren't always sure you were going to get another job on another set. And I didn't feel the urge to go to LA. I was offered that opportunity by a producer I was working for. And there are days when I wish I had gone. But I have a very good life now, so I won't complain. I ended up going to Boston, to Emerson College, to get my graduate degree in writing, literature, and publishing. I worked at Houghton Mifflin. Again, I'm old enough that it wasn't Houghton Mifflin Harcourt yet. And then I worked at Pearson as a developmental editor. And then I started having a family and decided to stay home because publishing, sadly, does not pay a lot. And it was going to cost the same to put my kids in daycare as I would bring home as a paycheck. That's the American system for you. So I decided to stay home and focus on my own writing. And that's what I've been doing ever since. I've been writing. I've been freelance editing from time to time. And yeah, that is me in a nutshell. The other question I received was about how I rate books the 5-star rating system, it's a little bit different for everyone because everyone's got kind of personal criteria. And I've had people say, well, 3 stars isn't good because 3 stars is still failing. And if you take each star as like a percentage, it's 5 stars, then 1 star is 20%, 2 stars is 40, 3 stars is 60. It's not quite failing, right? The 3 stars is a C. It's average. I don't know that that's terrible. I know we mostly want 4 and 5 stars as authors, and readers tend to look for things that are in the higher star range. So you maybe don't want 3 stars as an average, but a 3-star rating I don't consider terrible overall. Here's how I think about it when I'm rating books on Goodreads. A 1-star book has a lot of technical flaws that make it difficult or almost impossible to read. I'm talking typos, I'm talking, it's badly formatted, it's badly edited or wasn't edited. It's like someone wrote something, threw it into a book, and published it without another look. I don't see a lot of those. Certainly not in traditionally published stuff, and I'm pretty selective about my indie published stuff, so I don't come across a lot of that. The other reason something might get 1 star would be if there's something super problematic in the content. Something that advocates violence against women or is just very misogynistic in general. Things like that. Things that I consider objectively bad. Now, of course, everything about rating art is subjective. What I see as misogynistic, somebody else may not. So I always try to explain what it is that caused me to view a book a certain way or give it a certain rating. Somebody told me yesterday that my video about all the books was very critical, and I was like, well, I'm trying to explain why I felt the way I did about the books that I read. I guess I should also always try to remember to add the things I like about the books. But we'll save that for another time. So that's a 1 star. A 2 star for me is a book that maybe from a technical standpoint is fine, but it's not for me for some other reason. I don't like the main character. I don't like the writing style. Maybe I'm trying a new genre and I discover this genre is not for me. Every now and then I will pick up a book from a genre I've tried before and think, okay, maybe I'll feel differently about this one, or maybe this particular book will be different from others in this genre, and I'll try it, and then I'll discover no, it's just really just me. It's really just I don't connect with this. So that's a 2 star. It's probably fine for a lot of people. It's just not a book that's for me. Then, you get back to the 3 star. And this is an average book. It's solid. It's adequate. It doesn't wow me. I don't, have this bursting feeling about the book or any of the content in it. It's just, it was passable, enjoyable, but maybe forgettable in a lot of ways. So that's, 3 stars. It's average. It's okay. 4 stars is a book that I really, really like. That it's a book that either the character really speaks to me or there's stuff in it that I'll remember for a long time. Those are books that I will typically recommend to others, particularly people looking for books in that genre. So, a little bit better than average, right? Yeah, they're B books. 80%. What does it take to be a 5-star book? Well, for me, personally, a 5-star book is a book that wows me, becomes instantly one of my favorite books ever, and is a book that I just want to recommend to everybody. Everybody everywhere. You know, I just want to run out and say, you gotta read this, you gotta read this. And it's funny because I think I used to be more free with my 5-star ratings than I am now. I used to be, oh, if I really liked it, I gave it 5 stars. But now I'm trying to be a little more aware of the difference between a 4-star and a 5-star book. Not every book that I like can be actually 5 stars. So now I do give more 4-star ratings than 5-star ratings. But I'm trying to be fair. I'm trying to have criteria instead of just kind of winging it and going, because I go back and I look at my ratings for stuff from years ago and I go, why did I give it that? Like, what I remember of that book is not, this rating doesn't match what I remember feeling for this book. So I'm trying to be a little more consistent. I'm trying to have a little bit more of a checklist of criteria so that when I do rate books on like Goodreads or on Amazon, when I remember to do Amazon, admittedly Goodreads makes it very easy because I can keep track of what I'm reading and then I can rate what I'm reading. And I know as an author I should be rating people on Amazon because I want ratings on Amazon. So I'm trying to be better about that too. But yeah, so that in a nutshell is my kind of tier for 5 stars system of rating books. It's different for everyone, obviously. But that's mine. I try to have standards, I guess. And so, yeah, that I hope answers the couple of questions I got. And if you have any other questions, feel free to tweet them at me, leave them in the comments here, and I will try and answer them in another video maybe.